Hello and welcome. I am doing my Working at Community Colleges presentation on part-time students. So to begin, what is a part-time student? A part-time enrollment is considered anything below full-time enrollment, which is considered 12 credits during an academic semester. So a part-time student can take anywhere from 1 to 11 credits during an academic semester. So first off, I really want to get into a couple of barriers and issues that part-time community college students face. The biggest barrier that I believe, or that research shows that part-time community college students face is competing priorities. So this can look really different student to student, but here are some statistics that are important to apply to this particular barrier. So we see that at four-year institutions, 21% of students that attend part-time graduate in 6 years. At two-year institutions, or typically community colleges or tech schools, only 19% of students who attend part-time are achieving their credentials in the same time frame. So again, that's a two-year institution where it's taking 6 years to attain a 2% degree for just 19% of students. And so that leaves I'm not great with math, 81% of students who are not attaining their two-year degree in 6 years. Along with that, 13% of community college students are single parents. That's a really significant number. Obviously, having children requires so much time, energy, investment, and of course that's going to likely take away from your ability to complete your schoolwork and obtain your degree. 4% of community college students are veterans. Also can be a significant time and energy investment. Along with, we know that veterans sometimes suffer from mental health concerns and things like PTSD, which can absolutely also have an effect on your ability to focus on school. 23% of community college students have a disability. 59% of part-time community college students are employed full-time, full-time being 40 hours a week or more. And 70% of part-time students work more than 20 hours a week. So the majority of community college students are working at least 20 hours a week, with still over half working full-time. That's huge. 40 hours a week less they have to focus on school. And so obviously that's all those balls in the air, they have to get kept up and be juggled, and it's up to them to decide what's most important, whether that's taking care of their baby in person, or whether that's working to put food on the table for the family that they have, or even just for themselves, or dealing with mental and physical health and treatment, or if they are veterans or have a disability. A lot of different competing priorities for part-time college students that have to be recognized. And the next biggest barrier that I noticed in the literature is financial struggles. So 74% of community college students apply for aid. That's total aid, not just federal aid, but only 55% of community college students receive financial aid. So pretty stark difference of 19%, but if only just over half of your community college students are receiving aid, that is 45% of students that are not. Granted, some of those students are likely able to pay for school out of pocket, but that's still a significant number of people that are not receiving financial aid. A survey was conducted by Lake Research Partners, and this was published in an article from Georgetown University. 31%, this is of students, community college students, said that they could no longer afford their program. And so something that I really want to note from this article, among stopouts, 54% of students said free tuition would encourage them to re-enroll, followed by free textbooks and course materials, the ability to afford a program's tuition, and more institutional support in the form of financial aid and basic needs services. And again, these are community college students that are vocalizing this. And I mean, this is huge. They're telling you what they need to be successful, right? They need financial support. Like we just talked about before. I mean, so many of them are working 40 plus hours a week. Like if that number was able to be lessened even by 10 or 12 hours a week, and them still be able to keep all the balls that they're juggling in the air up, that could be life changing for so many students. So why should you care, right? So next I'm going to address what is the most significant need for this particular group of students and how we address it. In order to keep part-time community college students engaged in school and also enable them to be able to keep up with their competing responsibilities, we need to integrate those two things, being school and all the priorities that they have, competing priorities, into a more seamless experience for the student. They need to feel as if completing this degree will end them further ahead than they would be if they were to dedicate 40 plus hours a week to just working, or even more than 40 hours, like working multiple jobs to make money. And again, why, right? Why do we care? Well, 66% of community college students attend part-time. That's 2/3 of students are attending part-time. If we saw even a marginal decrease in this number, that would have devastating financial consequences for community colleges and the support services that they offer. Let's say part-time community college students, that number decreased by 5%, over the next couple of years, so only, and we're not gaining them as full-time students. We are just losing them completely. They've decided to stop out of school. That is a significant amount of revenue that's lost by community colleges. And what are we going to do? Support services. People have jobs. We work at community colleges, and they work in community colleges, and the odds are they want to keep those jobs and continue to do the work that they enjoy, which is helping students. So from a more practical lens, how do we address this? Well, I have an idea. My program idea is called Learn and Earn, Balancing Work and School. So Learn and Earn is a program in which the community college partners with local companies and businesses to employ part-time community college students in exchange for a joint compensation package. So students will be employed for a minimum of 30 hours per week at a business, and my example here is going to include a local credit union. In exchange for that labor, the business will provide a total compensation package composed of hourly wages, tuition remission, and credit hours put towards an applicable associate's degree. So for this example, in associates in business. So the vision for this program is that everything is integrated. You're getting relevant work experience and thusly an appropriate hourly wage that you would need to take care of things financially related to your competing responsibilities, or just, to provide a life for yourself. Tuition remission to help decrease that cost of school and maybe things that are not covered by financial aid, or perhaps if a student doesn't receive financial aid, they'll get some assistance with this program. And then lastly, credit hours, which this is, getting school credit for applicable job experience is huge. And they're able to put that towards their degree program and hopefully get them to graduation a little faster than what is that typical 6-year route, or can be that 6-year timeline, or even faster for them. And even if it is going to take them 6 years, and they were able to get some of those credits while doing things that they needed to sustain themselves. And it's also creating beneficial and hopefully mutually beneficial partnerships between the school, community college, and the general community and their businesses. In higher ed, we rely often on the community for partnerships, often for whether that's donations or sponsorships or events, or to facilitate workshops or things like that. And so this would be a good opportunity for a company to perhaps come out ahead financially, as if they compared to if they were to provide a full salary and benefits to someone that was working full time. And then the student is able to take advantage of tuition remission and getting on the job, quote unquote, hands-on experience that is relevant to what they're doing. Another example that I considered is perhaps someone who is getting a degree in art, getting to work in an art store or a museum that is close by in the community. So how does this Learn and Earn program connect to theory? So there's one big theory that I really want to focus on, which is Schlossberg's theory of transition. This theory focuses on the four S's, which are situation, self-support, and strategies. I really want to focus on just 3 of those 4 S's, being situation, support, and strategies, to connect it to what this program is grounded in, and how it'll be applicable. So the situation for Schlossberg is, first of all, I guess the overall theory is hopefully to help us as student affairs practitioners understand the unique experiences that part-time community college students go through, and hopefully that'll enable us to provide a lot more tailored support throughout their transitions. I mean, community college as a whole is full of transitions, and for community college students, part-time community college students that have so many other things going on, they're probably experiencing a lot more transitions than what would be like the typical first-year student or second-year student in a four-year university. So, situation. This is important for us to understand what's going on with a student, a part-time community college student. What things have changed in their lives in the recent past? Have they recently had a child? Are they recently returning to community college after coming out of the workforce, after coming out of the military? Did they recently have a significant medical situation happen, and now part-time community college is the only way they're going to be able to pursue their education, as they need to do other things for their health. We just need to know what's going on. What's changed? What do we need to know to better support you? Support. What supports do they already have? What are gaps that they have? And so what do they need from us as a community college? Thinking here things like mentorship, advising, obviously all the things campus resources have to offer. But it's important for us to understand what their situation looks like. If they are, if they're a part-time community college student that has, I don't mean to make this sound diminishing, but nothing else going on except for they're working, okay? Maybe they don't need as much support from us as a college compared to a single parent who is working full-time and taking care of children, things like that. So it's important for us to understand what support systems exist for them and then fill in the gaps for what they still need. And then lastly, strategies. I really, really believe that, especially for part-time community college students that have so many competing priorities, we have to be giving them hands-on hard skills that they can take with them and use right away in the workforce or whatever it is they have going on. So that's workshops and programs, perhaps dealing with hard skills like coding programs or tech programs or certificates that they can get in certain programming, doing workshops on improving the resume, career readiness skills, obviously academic resources if they feel like they need more academic support. But these are important so that they're able to actively act on these skills, and it's not just those soft skills, which soft skills are great. I fully support soft skills, but we recognize that this is a different demographic of students that we're working with. They might already have a lot of those soft skills like problem solving or time management or what else, and so we need to be getting them a certificate for I'm not too good with tech, but like Java, script writing or things like that. That's what's going to help advance them in their next step. Alrighty, and to take things home, I want to discuss like the learning outcomes or desired outcomes for this program. These are not super well thought out like a typical learning outcomes would be written, but I really just wanted to hit like the highlights of what I want to do or what I want to accomplish with this program. Number one, which is the basis of many academic support resources, is increased academic performance. Obviously, we want students to do well in school. In part-time community college students, it's no different. Increased retention. I mentioned earlier about the increased dropout rate for community college students and part-timers, and we want to do our best to reduce that dropout rate and keep students moving forward and moving through our program. If we are able to more seamlessly integrate what is their professional or pre-professional experience, their academics, and then the necessary financial supports that they have going on, I believe that they'll be less likely to stop out in programs. Enhanced employability skills and a broader work portfolio. I mean, that speaks for itself. If we're able to get them hands-on experience that's applicable to the area in which they're studying, by the time they graduate from the program, it's like, oh, great, you've already been working in this field, even just, part-time or, part-time, full-time, those numbers kind of can be different depending on who you're asking, but part-time or full-time, whatever you consider it, like you're ready to go. You're ready to hit the ground running. Now you have the degree. We're great. And then the broader work portfolio, if they decide that whatever area they're in it's not what they want to do, okay, well, what skills did you learn from that job that are transferable? to whatever it is that you're thinking you want to transition into. And the last thing, which I talked a lot about, is that greater financial stability. I mean, college costs money. No matter if you're going full-time, part-time, community college, four-year university, it costs money, and a lot of money sometimes. And we talked about how there's not that as many financial supports for part-time community college students as I would really like to see, and as the data suggests that they need. And so this is a program that will work to increase their financial stability, hopefully. I don't think it'll solve all financial problems by any means, but just work to improve that situation a little better. And then connecting that back into some of the literature, community colleges serve a disproportionate number of older working part-time students whose purposes, goals, and support service needs may differ substantially from those of more traditional college students. I mean, I feel like this has been talked about through the entire presentation. They just need some of them, part-time community college students, need more from us. Some of them just need different. Some of them need more and different support systems than what would be a quote-unquote traditional student. And so we have to be able to adapt our programming and support services to meeting the needs of the current days part-time community college students. Data is so awesome for looking back, but we know we're in a very different political and economic climate currently, and so our support services need to adapt to what students need from us today. That's all I have for you. My reference page will be attached to the presentation. Thank you.